Hey guys, HDvee here. Now, one of the best things about Pokemon, in my opinion, are of course, shiny Pokemon. Shiny Pokemon are Pokemon with different coloration than the normal versions of the Pokemon, although they have no stat differences at all. Shiny Pokemon have been included since Generation 2 in Gold and Silver, in which the first shiny Pokemon that was introduced was a red Gyarados. Shiny Pokemon are considered very rare. The term shiny is a reference to their difference in colour and their sparkling animation and sound effect when they enter into battle. The term was unofficial prior to Generation 5 when the Pokédex began cataloguing shiny Pokemon and using the term itself. With that being said, everybody loves finding a shiny Pokemon. Whether that being because you've spent hours searching for the shiny that you want, or just simply because you've gotten lucky and randomly come across one. Either way, seeing those sparkles come up on your screen is always a great feeling shared by many Pokemon fans worldwide. However, something that you may not know about though, is that there are a select few Pokemon out there that can't actually be found as a legitimate shiny Pokemon. Looking into this topic a bit more, today's video takes a look at the top 5 shiny Pokemon you'll never obtain. Don't hesitate to drop a comment down below about the video and if you found it interesting or not. Don't forget to leave a like on this video too to show your support, and I'll be sure to bring out a new video very shortly. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already to keep up to date, and without further ado, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. First off, we probably need some more information about this topic, so let's get into why these Pokemon can't actually be found as a shiny Pokemon. In Generation 4 and Generation 5, nearly all the non-shiny event Pokemon you obtain are coded to not be shiny. These Pokemon can usually be soft reset for IVs and natures, but they will never be shiny. There are a few exceptions for this, such as a couple of Kyushu events in 2012 in Japan. In addition to this, in Pokemon Black, White, Black 2 and White 2, several of the wild Pokemon are coded to not be shiny. In X and Y, none of the legendary Pokemon can be shiny. This was the same for Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon when they were released, in the way that a bunch of the legendary Pokemon found in these two new games can't be shiny as well. When a Pokemon can't be found as a shiny Pokemon, it is known as being shiny locked, and only consists of legendary Pokemon. Starting in Pokemon Black and Pokemon White, the developers started instituting locks where Pokemon could be caught in the wild but was prevented from being shiny. These locks are mostly done on the signature legendary Pokemon of the games, but do range further. These Pokemon are usually available as shiny through other games and are only locked through the particular game listed. However, you've probably seen quite a handful of Pokemon that are on this list that are shiny Pokemon, and the reason for that is because these Pokemon can be hacked into your game as a shiny Pokemon. So let me just quickly explain now that all of the Pokemon featured in this video can't be a legitimate shiny Pokemon, but can be hacked in as a shiny, if that makes sense. Basically, you need to cheat to get these shiny Pokemon. Now that that's all been explained, let's get into the list. Starting things off and claiming the number 5 spot in today's top 5 video are 3 of the 4 Tapus, being Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu and Tapu Fini. I say only 3 because there has just recently been an event to obtain a shiny Tapu Koko. It was announced that a special distribution was coming to Japan. This distribution gave out a serial code that allows players to receive a special shiny Tapu Koko. This is the first time that Tapu Koko had been available as a shiny Pokemon. This event runs at 7 spots and 7 to 11 stores from March the 17th to April the 9th. This sparks the question that Nintendo would probably not just have an event for one of the Island Guardians, and that a special shiny event for Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu and Tapu Fini would be coming in the near future, seeing as it would be silly to miss the other 3 Pokemon out. So, because these Pokemon could become legitimate shiny Pokemon in the near future, they are at the number 5 spot on this list. For all of these reasons, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu and Tapu Fini claim the number 5 spot for today's top 5 video. Coming in at the number 4 spot in today's top 5 video is Victini. Victini is said to bring victory to the trainer that befriends it. It produces an infinite amount of energy within itself and can share it with others by touch. It can also become invisible. Although Victini has a shiny sprite, Pokemon Black and White are programmed so that a shiny Victini cannot be encountered. It shares this trait with Reshiram and Zekrom. To this day, there still hasn't been a shiny Victini event, meaning that in order to get this Pokemon as a shiny, you have to hack it in. Which is of course unfortunate, and you'd think by now that Game Freak would have had a shiny Victini event, seeing as Pokemon Black and Pokemon White have been out for so long. I do hope that one day Victini does become a legitimate shiny Pokemon, because I do really love the shiny sprite for this Pokemon. For all of these reasons, shiny Victini takes the number 4 spot in today's top 5 video. Coming in at the halfway point in today's top 5 video are all the Ultra Beasts in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. The Pokemon that are currently coded to not be shiny are Nihilego, Buzzwole, Pheromosa, Xurkitree, Celesteela, Kartana, Guzzlord, and Necrozma. Yes, I know that Necrozma isn't technically an Ultra Beast, but it is related to them, and so it's easier to just include the Pokemon in this section of the video. This one confused me quite a bit in all honesty. With a new game feature like the Ultra Beasts, you'd think that Nintendo would at least allow one of them to be able to be caught as a shiny Pokemon, to obviously spread the new feature out even more. All of the Ultra Beasts do have really cool shiny forms, and it is a real shame that they have all been coded to not be found as a shiny. With all of that being said, they may distribute these Pokemon as shiny Pokemon through events across the year, but of course, we won't know that until they give us confirmation. For all of these reasons, Nihilego, Buzzwole, Pheromosa, Xurkitree, Celesteela, Kartana, Guzzlord, and Necrozma all being shiny locked takes the number 3 spot in today's top 5 video. Claiming the number 2 spot in today's top 5 video is Solgaleo and Lunala. With the release of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, we were gifted with a bunch of brand new Pokemon that we could use to battle, trade, or just to collect. As well as all of the brand new Pokemon we were introduced to, we of course also got a shiny version for each of them too. And whilst it's been fun shiny hunting for all of these new shiny Pokemon, 2 Pokemon were left in the dark, and that was of course the shiny Solgaleo and the shiny Lunala, the 2 new legendary Pokemon for the new games. Both of these Pokemon were coded to not be shiny during normal gameplay of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, and so, the only way to get these 2 shiny Pokemon is by hacking them into your game. This is actually a real shame too, because I do really like the shiny design of both Solgaleo and Lunala. I really like the red colouring that takes over Solgaleo's shiny form, and also the reddish purple that becomes Lunala's shiny form also makes it stand out really well. For all of these reasons, shiny Solgaleo and shiny Lunala take the number 2 spot in today's top 5 video. Finishing things off and claiming the number 1 spot in today's top 5 video is Zygarde. Zygarde does of course have a shiny sprite, however, it is coded not to be shiny in Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, along with Xerneas and Yveltal, so you cannot get a shiny Zygarde by soft resetting the game. The only way to get one would be by hacking or by event if there was a shiny Zygarde event. However, both shiny Xerneas and shiny Yveltal were distributed in an event earlier in 2016. To help promote the debut of Pokemon the series XYZ, which was added to the Pokemon TV mobile app, shiny Xerneas, shiny Yveltal, and Zygarde were being distributed via Nintendo Network for American region games. Each Pokemon were available via Nintendo Network for 1 week only for Pokemon X and Y and Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Zygarde was available from May the 2nd to the 8th, 2016. It was level 100 and knew the moves Land's Wrath, Extreme Speed, Glare, and Outrage. Shiny Xerneas was available from May the 11th to 17th, 2016. It was level 100 and knew the moves Geomancy, Moonblast, Aromatherapy, and Focus Blast. Finally, Shiny Yveltal was available from May the 20th to 26th, 2016. It was level 100 and knew the moves Oblivion Wing, Sucker Punch, Dark Pulse and Foul Play. But of course, the Zygarde in this event wasn't a shiny Pokemon, and so is still not possible to obtain. For all of these reasons, Shiny Zygarde takes the number 1 spot in today's top 5 video. But with that, wraps up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you did enjoy the video though, please leave a like, I'd really appreciate it. Like I said at the start of the video, I'd also love to hear your guys' opinions too on this subject, so be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I have a couple top 5s coming onto your screen in a second, so be sure to give them a watch if you have the time. And also subscribe if you like my content. Be sure to leave a comment down below if you have another idea for a top 5 or Pokemon information video that you'd like to see me cover too. I'm sure you guys have some pretty interesting ideas. That's everything from me though, so thanks for watching guys, have an amazing day and I'll see you in the next video.